that for which we are here tonight. Boys have been born since that time and have become voters, and the women are still trying to persuade American men to believe in fundamental principles of democracy. Now, one of the two things is true. Either a republic is a desirable form of government, or else it is not. If it is, then we should have it. If it is not, then we ought not to pretend that we have it. The men of New York have, for the first time in their lives, the rare opportunity on the second day of next November of making the state truly a part of the republic. And God said in the beginning, it is not good for man to stand alone. That is why we are here tonight, and that is all that women's suffrage means. Just to repeat again and again that first declaration of the divine, it is not good for man to stand alone. When I hear people say that if women were permitted to vote, a large body of ignorant people would vote, and therefore, because an ignorant woman would vote, no intelligent woman should be allowed to vote, I wonder why we have made it so easy for male ignorance and so hard for female ignorance. If the voice of the people is the voice of God, how are we ever going to know what God's voice is when we are content to listen to a bass solo? We will never know what the deity's voice is in government until the bass and soprano are mingled together, the result of which will be the divine harmony. Where is the difficulty? Just in one thing and one thing only, that men are so sentimental. We used to believe that women were the sentimental sex, but men are so sentimental in their attitude about women that they cannot reason about them. The only reason men do not see us fairly in regard to women as they do in regards to each other is because they have looked upon us from an altogether different plane than what they have looked at men. That is because women have been the homemakers while men have been the so-called protectors. I was followed up last year by a young married woman from New Jersey. The young lady stated the awful results which happened where women did have the ballot, what awful laws have been brought about by women's vote, the conditions that prevail in the homes, and how deeply women get interested in politics. Because women are hysterical, and we cannot think of anything else. We just forget our families, cease to care for our children, cease to love our husbands, and just go to the polls and vote and keep on voting for 10 hours a day, 365 days in a year. A gentleman told me that he and his wife had lived together for 20 years and had never had a difference in opinion, and he was afraid if women began to vote, that his wife would vote differently from him, and then that beautiful harmony which they had had for 20 years would be broken. And all the time he was talking, I could not help wondering which was the idiot, because I knew that no intelligent human beings could live together for 20 years and not have a difference of opinion. I thought, how would a man feel being tagged up by a little woman for 20 years saying, me too, me too? I would not want to live in a house with a human being for 20 years who agreed with everything I said. A man in the crowd called out and said, well, what does a woman know about war anyway? I had read my paper that morning and I knew what the awful headline was. The headline read, 250,000 men killed since the war began. I said, you asked me what a woman knows about war? No woman knows the significance of 250,000 dead men. But you told me that one man lay dead, and I might be able to tell you something of its awful meaning to one woman. I would know that years before, a woman whose heart beat in unison with her love and her desire for motherhood walked day by day with her face to an open grave. And if there was laid in her arms a tiny little bit of helpless humanity, I would know that there went out from her soul such a cry of thankfulness. And then I would know what men have not yet learned, that women are human, that they have human hopes and human passions, aspirations and desires as men have. And I would know that that mother had laid aside all those hopes and aspirations for herself and for her boy. For out of her woman's life she had carved 20 beautiful years that went into the making of a man. And there he stands, the most wonderful thing in all the world. She gave her life for him, and in an hour this country calls him out, and in an hour he lies dead. That wonderful thing lies dead. And sitting by his side, that mother looking into the dark years to come, knows that when her son died, her life's hope died with him. And in the face of that wretched motherhood, what man dare ask what a woman knows about war? No, we women do not want the ballot in order that we may fight, but we do want the ballot in order that we may help keep men from fighting, whether it is in the home or in the state. Just as the home is not without the man, so the state is not without the woman. And you can no more build up homes without man than you can build up the state without women. We are needed everywhere where human problems are to be solved. Men and women must go through this world together, from the cradle to the grave. It is God's way and the fundamental principle of a republican form of government.